Hello, it's Leslie Klein here, and I have a special guest to share with you during this live. Now, I am live streaming to all my social media, so if you chat there, I can see it and I can put your comments here on this live stream. My special guest today is Teresa Cundiff. We have just finished speaking and recording our interview for Good Vibes TV that's going to air this Tuesday, and I want to just so I always do these little post-interview chats after we do our interviews to kind of promote the show that's coming up. And Teresa, we had such a wonderful conversation, learned some new things, and so excited to have you here.
Thanks, Leslie. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm just thrilled to have a chance to chat with you on Good Vibes TV, and I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Teresa is a talk show host. Mm-hmm. Your show is called, I'm trying to find my little, there we go, banners. It's called Teresa Talks. So tell us about your show, Teresa Talks.
Well, on Teresa Talks, I have inspiring conversations with authors, published and unpublished. And to me, an unpublished author, which sounds like an oxymoron, is really someone who is going to write a book eventually. A brilliant person who has their book in their head. They just don't have it out of their head and onto the page yet. So I want to be able to still talk to that person and bring their brilliance to my audience and encourage them and be a cheerleader for them to get their book out onto the page and to a publisher. So, and really it's just gives me license to talk to whoever I want to for the most part.
Yes, that's awesome. I love your show. You've had so many interesting guests. Now, let's talk about this. How long have you had your TV talk show?
I've had it since June of last year, so over a year, and I just recorded episode number 49.
Wow.
So I will record episode 50 tomorrow.
Wow.
Or no,
and
Monday.
Excuse me. There's only 52 weeks in a year, right?
It's true. So
you've been rocking out some content.
I actually have, but so I mean, there are millions of authors out there. So many people have written books. So many people are still yet to write their books. So I really am spoiled for choice. There's so many brilliant people for me to talk to. I'm just excited to have the opportunity to showcase so many authors in their work because there's so much great content out there for me to talk about.
Absolutely. Now, this is a hard question. Of all the 49, almost 50 shows or people that you've interviewed, which are the ones that have stand out that maybe that you just thought they had just such a message that the world really needed to hear?
Well, that's kind of easy. The first one that comes to mind is Travis Sackett. I couldn't do his book in one show or two shows. It took 3 shows because I wanted to get through every single part of his book. It's a memoir. I learned of his story. As soon as I heard him say cop to criminal, I was like, I have to talk to this man. I ordered his book. I started reading it. I couldn't get on the phone with him fast enough to see if he would be willing to come on Teresa Talks. His book is called My Life with Karma. It impacted me so much that when an opportunity came along through Action Takers Publishing to be part of a book called The Book I Read, which is a collaboration book where we, the authors in that book, write a chapter about a book that we read that impacted our lives. I wrote about Travis's book and how it impacted me in that book called The Book I Read, which I have here. It tells the story of how he became addicted to opioids, of course, that he was prescribed. And so it moved me so much that I wrote about it in another book. That's how it impacted me. So I would say that Travis would be like probably he's the author that has impacted me most through my series of interviews so far. Also, Scott Schilling's book, That Sucks, What Now? Doing his book in 3 parts as well, because it's a great book full of positivity, and it's got so much in it about, if you're stuck, how you can do things to lift yourself out of that. He is a world-renowned international speaker on stages, and it's just got so many strategies in it. And so doing his interview in 3 parts. So I'll conclude with him this coming Monday. So I guess since I'm interviewing him in the morning, he'll technically be interview number 50. So he's an outstanding individual as well. So, but really every author is great in his or her own right, subject matter experts in their fields. I'm just honored and privileged to have had each one of them on the show. And every author that comes on I'm so blessed that they take their time to come on the show. And but of course, for them, the whole show is like a marketing hour for them. They can take the link and post it where they like. Drives traffic, of course, to Legrity.tv, and which is a win for the company. That's right. All of my content is on Legrity.tv. And so it's a win-win. It's a win-win for Legrity. It's a win-win for Teresa Talks, and it's a win-win-win for the author, because I highlight the author and their book, and we talk about in detail the content of their book, because that's why they're on the show, to talk about their book, and that's why I'm there to highlight the author.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment. That's almost an interview a week for a whole year. That's wonderful.
That's what I was trying to do. I mean, so that is the plan, to drop a fresh interview every Tuesday, and seem to be managing that somehow.
You're Superwoman. So what's in the future? Are you going to maintain that pace for this next year?
I am. That's what's in the works. I'm working really hard to try to have interviews in the can in advance, to sort of be ahead of the drop, as it were. It takes a lot of work to get that all pulled together, but I really love what I'm doing. I'm still working my day job, and blessed to have that, but working towards Teresa Talks being the full-time thing that I'm doing, because it really is my passion. It's what I love to do. Reading books. I mean, I would say who doesn't love reading books, but that's a silly question. There are plenty of people who don't love reading books. I have to say, as part of the history for me, I hated reading books, which is why I wasn't an English major, because you had to read like all this literature, and that was not appealing to me. And I didn't want to be an English teacher. Now, if I could have only taught like the writing and the sentence structure and learning, because like I didn't learn and understand adverbs fully till I was a sophomore in high school, and then it finally clicked. It's like, adverbs, got it. But I love the mechanics of writing and understanding punctuation and all of everything that had to do with writing. I just didn't like reading. I didn't start reading until like 31 years ago, because my oldest son is 30. I didn't start reading until I was pregnant with him. The husband came home from the Gulf War and we moved to Arizona for him to attend a school. That's when I started reading. And then I could not read enough. I just read everything I could get my hands on. And then now I'm very opinionated about who I read. So just ask me. I'm super opinionated about my authors. So, but I will give a book 100 pages before I slam it shut and go, yep, not reading that author anymore. But I will give a book, like I said, 100 pages. I feel like that is way enough to determine if it's worthy of me finishing it. So there's that. But I used to hate reading, even though I loved all things about writing. It's ironic, but nonetheless, that's how it was. But I've always been a proofreader of all things that I ever read. It's like, yep, comma splice, run on sentence, just everything, because that's how it was. Yes, I know where the commas go. The comma is the most misused piece of punctuation in the English language, for sure.
Yeah, that's your tagline for your proofreading business. I just love that. It's so clever. Well, thank you, Teresa. Just this little chat is just a taste of what's coming up in the full episode. So I just wanted to let people know, look for your episode to come out on Tuesday of this week. And again, thanks so much for the interview. You're a fascinating woman and so positive, and I just love spending time with you.
Thank you, Leslie. It's my pleasure, and the feeling is certainly mutual. I always love spending time with you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and catch our show coming up this Tuesday. Take care, everyone.